Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. Since 2005, lottery scamming has emerged as a major criminal scourge in Western Jamaica. It has become a primary source of funding for gangsters who are constantly seeking out new ways to boost their lifestyle and to buy heavy weaponry to protect themselves and their turfs. While it has become a source of instant wealth for many families, it has also brought pain and suffering to others as a result of the spin-off violence, which has spawned multiple murders. In terms of its national impact, it has created quite an ugly picture as scammers are known to target elderly Americans, fleecing them of millions of dollars. As a consequence, the Jamaican government and their US counterparts have forged a partnership to work closely in targeting, arresting, and extraditing scammers to the United States to face justice. Additionally, the Jamaican government has enacted a new lottery scam law, the Law Reform Act of 2013, which is primarily designed to separate a scammer from his ill-gotten wealth. While scores of Jamaicans have been extradited to the United States, where they have been found guilty in the courts and sentenced to time in prison, lottery scamming remains quite attractive to those persons who are involved but have not been caught. In 2022, National Security Minister Dr. Armstrong told Parliament that scammers were raking in an estimated US $1 billion annually. It was into that situation that Dennis Meadows, who was a provisional candidate for the PNP in North Trelawny, fell, when he reportedly told a campaign meeting that he saw nothing wrong with chopping, the street terminology for scamming.
I have no problem with a man if he want chop. Because them chop us during slavery.
Amid the condemnations that were heaped on him, Meadows apologized for what he said, arguing that if the proper context was revealed in the video that went viral, the truth of what he was trying to say would have been revealed. However, the People's National Party leader, Mark Golding, took swift and decisive action, removing Meadows as the provisional candidate for North Trelawny. According to Golding, Meadows' continuation as a candidate was untenable, given that scamming is one of Jamaica's most serious security challenge. While scamming continues to be blamed for the spate of murders and the proliferation of illegal guns on the streets of Jamaica, especially Western Jamaica, it still continues to flourish, albeit not on the wide scale of former years. In this edition of Lest You Forget, I will be looking at how the security forces responded to scamming back in 2015 when it was at its peak, from a story I wrote for The Gleaner, which was published on October 14, 2015, under the headline, A Deadly Marriage, Lottery Scam and Guns. The story read as follows. It is yet to be determined how many of the more than 300 murders recorded in St. James, Hanover and Westmoreland since the start of this year are linked to the lottery scam, but police intelligence indicate that a high percentage are related to the deadly illegal act. Last week, National Security Minister Peter Ponting said the number of murders connected to the lottery scam in Western Jamaica could reach 200 by the end of the year. But police sources say when the motives for all the murders are determined, it could be much more. The investigators note that when the guns went silent after the recent attack on a family in Lagwood, Hanover, which left 6 dead and 4 in hospital, it did not take long to establish a link between the massacre and the lottery scam, which has transformed Western Jamaica into a killing field. Information garnered in the aftermath of the killings indicated that the violence was as a result of a feud between 2 rival gangs from the area, which are seeking to control the money being generated from the multi-million-dollar scam. The latest killing Force Assistant Commissioner Winchell Bodu, head of the Area 1 Police Division, which covers Western Jamaica, to warn residents against embracing lottery scammers. I don't want when we find them and carry them to jail, you quarrel and say they are breadwinners, since Bodu. Breadwinners and they never work. Breadwinners and they drive the best cars and build the biggest houses and they never work. They are in lottery scamming and they are robbing people in the United States and we are going to mash it down, added Bodu. The lottery scam related murders in Hanover, St. James, Westmoreland and even St. Elizabeth has left Bounty surprised, if not perplexed. During the third week of September, where you had a bunch of murders in Hanover, when I look at the stats, up to that point for the month, you had more murders in Hanover than Kingston and St. Andrew combined, said Bounty. I tell you this so you can understand the scale of the problem that we are facing in Hanover, Bounty told a community meeting in the parish recently. He noted that St. James, Westmoreland and Hanover have all recorded massive jumps in the number of murders over last year. What those three have in common is they are the center of lottery scamming in Jamaica. It is not a coincidence. Where you have a concentration of lottery scammers, you have murders. I have been preaching, warning people that wherever you find lottery scamming, as night follows day, murder is going to follow, added Bounty. The lottery scam did not start with this level of violence when it emerged in St. James in 2006. At that time, several inner-city communities, including the then epicenter Granville, suddenly became awash with cash as scammers flaunted their ill-gotten gains with high-end vehicles, massive mansions, the latest in electronic gadgets, and frequent parties with top-shelf liquor. But even then, police personnel warned residents of Western Jamaica and family members of the scammers about the propensity of the lottery scam to generate lawlessness. At a Gleaner Editors Forum in Montego Bay in 2006, the then top cop in Western Jamaica, Assistant Commissioner Denver Freighter, warned that the scammers, many of whom were high school graduates, represented a new breed of criminals who, by virtue of being more intelligent, could dwarf their predecessors in terms of ruthlessness. Freighter's warning was to ring true as the deadly underbelly of the scheme was exposed with the gangsters getting involved. By late 2006, a letter surfaced in Montego Bay, allegedly from the then notorious Stone Crusher gang, ordering scammers to pay over a set sum of money each month. The letter further warned that scammers who refused to pay would face deadly consequences. Over the next 6 months, many scammers who refused to pay were killed, while others determined not to pay used their money to engage the services of other gangsters and even rogue cops to protect them. It was during that time that the St. James murder count surged past the 100 mark for the first time, as gruesome killings, including several beheadings, became the order of the day. While Meadows may have been the victim of too much vodka and a loose tongue, there is no question that lottery scamming is a serious scourge and is not something to be taken lightly. In looking back at lottery scamming over the years, there is no question that its impact has been one of those unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. Before you go, please remember to subscribe.